Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please? Hello and welcome to the John Hancock Hall at the Bath Bay Event Center. For your safety and comfort, please take a moment to identify the exits nearest your seat. Please note that the exit may be behind you. In the case of an emergency, should you need to evacuate, we ask that you walk to the nearest exit. Once outside, please move away from the building. Thank you for turning off all cell phones and electronic devices.
Welcome everyone to the 2017 commencement exercises for the New England College of Business and Finance. At this time, I ask everyone to please stand or remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the a cappella group Vinyl Street.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, who brought strife and bright stars through the perilous fight for the
Thank you, and please be seated. Again, welcome to our 2017 commencement exercises. This is the 108th commencement exercises for the New England College of Business. And we are graduating approximately 300 students today. But you know, our students reside in 30 different states, so they're not all here. They couldn't be with us physically in Boston, but we are for the first time streaming live out to the internet. And graduates, this is the only time I'll let you take out your phones. If you want to send the link to anyone that's not here, please do so now and then put your phones away. But you know, last night the alumni had a reception for our graduates, and interestingly, we had many that did travel from other states, including California, Washington, Illinois, Canada. So what I'd like to do is just ask those graduates that had to get on a plane to be here and their families and guests to please stand so we can recognize you for your extra effort. Now, you know, our graduates are often referred to as adult learners because most of them are working full-time and have homes and jobs and families. And actually, in higher education, adult learners who are working are the fastest growing part of the higher education population. But about 10 years ago, when we were starting these graduations in these facilities, some other college presidents would come up to me and say, do those people get excited about graduation? You know, we have our young students that have just come to us straight from high school, and they're very excited, but you probably don't need to have a graduation ceremony. They just want to get their diploma. So we had to dispel that notion with our own little tradition. And so it's a little bit of an icebreaker, but what we do, it's a fairly complicated task, but we ask our undergraduates on the count of 3 to say yippee. And because they're slightly more advanced, we asked our graduate students and their families on the count of 3 to say woo-hoo. And we did put this back on YouTube, and it will be out streaming again. So, and then we'll do it all together on 3. You can say yippee or woo-hoo, whatever you want. We'll get that out of the way. So undergraduates, I know you're excited, so on the count of 3, please show your excitement. I think you remember the directive. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Okay, audience, you need to participate. Okay? So for the graduate population, we want, if you are here to see a graduate student, please go with a woohoo. So graduate students, are you excited on the count of 1, 2, 3? Okay, how about everybody together, including stage party? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good job, good job. Okay, so to start us off this afternoon, we're going to be bring greetings from some people at the college that most of our students usually don't have direct contact with. You're usually meeting our faculty and our staff, but we have a wonderful board of trustees. And it is this board that makes sure that we meet the commitment to you, our graduates, and to our community to provide very high quality degree programs and training at very affordable tuition, and to be fully integrated with the business community. So I'd like to just introduce the trustees that are here today and ask them to stand for a minute, and then I'm going to ask the chair to come to the podium. But representing the Board of Trustees are Kate Donovan. Kate, could you stand? Kate is the Global President for the Manpower Organization. Carol Fulp, please stand. Carol is the CEO and the President of the partnership here in Boston, and I had the privilege just last week of attending her induction into the Hall of Fame for the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce. So Carol, congratulations on that. And last but not least is our esteemed chairperson, Scott Harshbarger. Scott is senior counsel at Kastner and Edwards, but has had an illustrious career in public service. He was the former president of Common Cause, encouraging citizens to get involved with their communities and with making good policies. Prior to that, Scott also served as the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and hopefully you never encountered him when he was the District Attorney at Middlesex County. So Scott, I'd like to ask you to come to the podium to bring remarks from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard, and welcome all of you. And it is wonderful to be here. It's always a terrific honor for those of us that serve on the board to come to this event and see you in person. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, whose names and affiliations are included in your program, and specifically the members here who've been introduced, but Kate Donovan is my vice chair of the board, Carol Fulp is our newest member, and has just made a tremendous contribution to the board and to the school. I want to allow me to congratulate all of you on this moment, but also more particularly your family members and support system. And I just would like you to join me in thanking all of them for helping you through this process. So thank you. I also want to extend my thanks not only to our executive team led by Howard, but also especially our faculty for their leadership, dedication, and quality, which really is the substance of what we do here at New England College of Business. This is a challenging time in our country. There's a dramatic political divide mirrored by an equally dramatic divide in our view of the role and responsibility of our business leaders and their relationship to government, to consumers, to shareholders, and the broader community. For whatever it may be worth, I offer you, as the next generation of our entrepreneurs and business managers, leaders, and hopefully engaged citizens in our democracy, my perspective for your consideration. This is an era of inflated business leader egos and compensation, of dramatic income inequality, and outrageous excesses in the guise of business success stories, an era of private gain too often at the expense of the public interest and the 99%, all justified and sanctioned by market, entrepreneurship, globalization, and competition, an era in which we justify welfare for the too big to fail corporations and abandonment of the too small to save individual. It is why it is so appropriate that you are here today going to hear from our commencement speaker as you think about at least the context of my remarks, a self-made, outstandingly successful entrepreneur who has done well by doing good. It's crucial to our economic well-being and the essence of our democratic values of equity and fairness and belief that as a community we're all in this together, that we have leaders who serve as role models who have integrated and demonstrated these values and succeeded, as our commencement speaker has. We have too few of these business leader role models for you. In a time when failure to comply with the law, with good governance and ethical conduct is deemed a cost of doing business, when our corporate and political leaders are with glee seeking to dismantle the entire regulatory structure, an era where the law clearly does not apply equally to all of us, is it any wonder that we see the anger and fear and frustration reflected directly in last year's presidential campaign, and what we now see playing out in the new executive and congressional administration? Whatever your political views, whether or not you're engaged actively, surely we must all recognize now that democracy is not a spectator sport, and be crystal clear that our public policies in a democracy are determined by our politics. Elections have consequences. Hence, today more than ever, we need courageous business leaders to stand and deliver, because as noted recently, it takes little courage to support the powerful, the influential, the comfortable. For me in this climate, the profile and courage is the business leader who will stand for the belief that you can do well by also doing good, who will demonstrate repeatedly that while we must encourage initiative, entrepreneurship, and robust competition as the keys to our collective economic engine and reward success, we must also do this within the bounds of ethical conduct, professional and business integrity, enlightened and effective regulation, which provides a level, not a rigged playing field, and with a deep sense of corporate social responsibility, recognizing that no one made it here on their own. And that, my friends, is what we hope NECB stands for, and that you, our graduates, will represent not only today, but day in and day out. Good luck, congratulations, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
So graduates, as the audience sitting here can attest, you're some of the most hardworking and impressive people around. You've juggled your careers and your family responsibilities while also pursuing a degree, sacrificing time with friends or bedtime stories with your child because you knew there was a light at the end of this tunnel and the journey would be worth it. It does remind me of a story you might have seen earlier this year about a teenager who worked at UPS to take care of his sick mother. Now, the UPS facility was 5 miles from his house, and Derek, yes, his name was Derek, didn't have a car. So every day this young man got up at 4 a.m. and began the long trek to his job before working at his job, and then walked the 5 miles back to his home to take care of his mother, and also he had some schoolwork to do as well. His coworkers would offer him rides, but he always would refuse. He was too proud. But one day, the coworkers pitched in and got him an incredible gift, his very own car, a Jeep Cherokee if you're curious. Derek is overwhelmed. He breaks down into tears of gratefulness. One coworker posts a video on social media of them presenting him with a car, and it immediately goes viral with a note: "At UPS, we take care of our own." You know, yes, Derek's work ethic was incredible. He was working so hard, but too hard. And what his coworkers did was amazing. And while their gift was certainly magnanimous, it wasn't entirely selfless. It was a recognition, in part, that a coworker who's not exhausted when he begins a shift is going to be a happier coworker and a better coworker. Giving Derek that car improved the entire team. And there's an ongoing debate in business about individual versus team performance. Whether you would rather have a cohesive team of moderate performers or one standout star. Do you want a great marketing executive, or do you want 10 decent ones? It's really a false choice because we're all individual performers and we are all team players. Of course, You all hated it when we gave you group projects and courses. There was always some laggard who mucked it up for the rest of you. But there was a reason we made you practice that skill. Henry Ford didn't really hire one really smart car guy and tell him to get building. He hired a factory full of people, each with their own area of expertise. There was the engine guy, someone putting on wheels, someone giving that horn a perfectly annoying squeak. And each of them gave 100%. And it's not all that different now. A few years back, a Stanford professor named Robert Sutton wrote a popular business book, and if there are any young children here, cover your ears. The book was called The No A-Hole Rule. The premise was similar. We're all familiar with a hard-charging jerk at the office who nevertheless gets away with terrible behavior because he's a rainmaker or he's seen as integral to the firm. But as it turns out, he is also creating an environment that suppresses the best work of the rest of the team. When companies got rid of their badly behaved superstars, they actually found out that their profit margin and performance at least remained stable and often improved, because the rest of the team's morale and performance also improved. Interestingly, the converse is also true. Another study examined the careers of more than 1,000 star analysts in Wall Street and found that once those stars left their firms to go out on their own, they were no longer A+. At their new jobs, their performance suffered. Why? The most obvious explanation is that their success wasn't simply the result of raw talent, but because they had teams that helped them do their best work. The concept of teamwork, while very intuitive for some, has actually become the subject of intense scientific research. In fact, it's on the cover of the Harvard Business Review right now. As we know, every team is a mix of various personality types and styles. But at a company the size of Deloitte, they are actually studying this as a science. They have a system called business chemistry that tries to account for the different work styles when they're trying to accomplish group tasks. And of course, locally in the world of sports, where much is learned about teamwork at an early age, our New England Patriots, with their motto, "Do your job," has been an exemplar in demonstrating how success comes to an enterprise that allows for the manifestation of individual greatness in the context of disciplined teamwork. The lessons here extend beyond the business and sports world. If we're thinking about our country and our society, are we building a team or a collection of individuals? And how does that answer affect how we act each day? I like to think of a quote from the famed cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." So my advice to you as you leave here to achieve your wildest dreams, be ambitious, be a star, but don't do it at the expense of your team, for they are the people who will help you shine brighter than you possibly can on your own. But if your coworkers offer you a car, take it. So now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker to deliver the 108th commencement address at New England College of Business and Finance. But even before I say her name, let me start with one of her favorite slogans. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. In fact, our speaker, Michelle Cully, has done what only a select group of people ever do. She has built an incredibly successful company and has done so completely from scratch. Known as Expressman Trucking and Courier, Michelle not only entered a field in which women had historically been underrepresented, but as owner and CEO, she has outworked, outsmarted, and outstrategized her competition to become a leading provider of these services with offices not only in the Boston area, where she launched her startup, but now with offices coast to coast. In so doing, Michelle grabbed a good share of the market once dominated only by men, and has over 25 years built a national company with a loyal customer base. As an entrepreneur, Michelle is now taking her business savvy into the real estate world, where she is practicing another business strategy, diversification of assets. More than anything, Michelle's story is probably most significantly illustrative of what it means to persevere. A few years ago, Michelle was featured in the Boston Business Journal under the headline, High Heels in the Laundry Room. Because when Michelle was just starting out, she literally worked out of her parents' laundry room, cold calling prospects from the phone book until she got some customers. That gave her some traction. She delivered a good service at a fair price, and then was able to turn that traction into real momentum in building her business. In so doing, Michelle brought her A game from day one by dressing for success in the laundry room. She didn't go there in sweatsuits. She went there dressed for success, even when success was still a distant dream and far from a certainty. And Michelle, while grateful for the use of her parents' laundry room in those early gritty days of grinding out the foundation for her business, credits her parents not only for use of their laundry room, but more so for the values of determination and dedication they instilled in her, something she in turn now instills in her own teenage children, who are here today to witness their mother sharing her witness with our NECB graduates, their guests, and our community. Following her remarks and in recognition for her exemplary success in business and her good philanthropic works, it will be my privilege to bestow upon Michelle Cully the honorary degree of Doctor of Commerce. But for now, I'm going to ask her to transition her high heels from the laundry room to the podium. So Michelle, if you could come up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, friends, family, President Horton, board members, and especially to all of today's graduates. I am honored to speak to you today and to let you in on a little secret. This is my very first college graduation I have ever attended. I never went to college, which makes it even more special for me to be here today. As I look out at all of you today, I admire your tenacity, your hard work, your commitment that it has taken you to get to where you are to today. My hope is that my story will empower all of you to write your own story as you finish this chapter and continue on. I am in the trucking business, yes, trucking. I have owned Expressman Trucking and Courier since 1993. I have built it from necessity, from hard work, and from sheer determination. Not bad for someone who was once told, you will never amount to anything. I never set out to be an entrepreneur. I actually was never truly sure what I was going to be. But what I did know was that when I was 16, I fell in love and I was quite content to be with my boyfriend. And for years, he was my world. I lived with him, I worked for him, I drove his car, and I listened to all the awful things he had to say about me. It was not a healthy situation, to say the least, and along the way, I lost myself and my identity. So, when he broke up with me, I crumbled. I was already fragile, and I broke into a million tiny pieces. I literally wrapped myself in a blanket and never wanted to come out of the darkness. Thankfully, my mother, my sister, and my best friend had other plans for me. They were not going to let me waste away and float off into the abyss. But even with their help, it was hard to heal. It was nearly impossible to not hear his voice in my head telling me that I was nothing without him. And feeling as bad as I did, yeah, I kind of believed it. I was 23 years old, sleeping on my sister's couch, with no money, no dignity, and no light at the end of the tunnel. I was stuck for a while. But, slowly, the darkness turned to gray, and the gray into daylight, and I managed to get up and try to make sense of my mess. His cutting words were never far, but soon what used to make me cry made me mad. What used to make me doubt my very existence was giving me the energy and motivation. I realized not all had been lost. He hadn't taken everything after all. I had my family, my friends, and my guts intact. Somewhere inside of me, I knew I could still make my dreams come true. So many of us have dreams: to own a business, to finish college, to start a family. I wasn't sure what my dream was, but I knew it wasn't the nightmare I had been living. I woke up one day and thought, I'm going to start a company. Why not? I certainly had nothing to lose. I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know how I would do it, but I did it anyways. When I was working for my boyfriend, I had seen delivery services in courier companies picking up and dropping off packages, picking up important documents, and driving things around for various companies. For some reason, it stuck with me. And I thought, well, how hard can it be? I'll start a delivery service. And that's what it was. That was the business I would start. It became my mission, and I never looked back. My parents' laundry room soon became my headquarters. That was my office. I then got myself to a lawyer and explained that I needed to have one of those things, INC, Inc., at the end of my business name. I had no idea what it stood for at that time, but I saw it at the end of every company name, so I assumed I needed it. Okay, he said, what's the name of your company? Oh yeah, that. No answer. I hadn't gotten that far. After some doodling on the back of a legal pad, we came up with Expressman. Catchy, why not? And from there it was born, Expressman Trucking and Courier, Inc. Of course, when the lawyer handed me his invoices for his services, it dawned on me that I had to pay him. He was kind and allowed me to work it off in a delivery service. With little more than a pager, purchased from Radio Shack, and my car, I set out to build my empire. How? Cold calling from the Yellow Pages. No, 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 no thank you, was all I heard all day long. Then one day I said for the 100th time, "Hi, this is Michelle from Expressman Courier. Would you like to use my services?" And the person on the other end of the phone said, "Sure, why not?" I yelled out to my mom and said, "Mom, I've got a customer." My first customer and my first taste of what it was like to be a business owner with a business. Granted, my office was still in the laundry room, but to me it was an office. It was a destination and a reason to get up in the morning. Every day I'd put on a suit, the highest heels I owned, and I would click, click, click into the laundry room. My parents would look at me half in awe and half wondering if I had truly lost my mind, but they smiled and always encouraged me. Getting that first customer to say yes, to believe in me, gave me the strength to continue, to seek more business. For the first time in years, the words "you are nothing" were not the loudest voice in my head. Instead, it was my own voice saying, "You've got this." Instead of hearing "no, you can't," I heard "yes, you can." I was relying on myself for the first time, and I truly loved the way it felt. My hope is that you hear that same voice as you sit out there today. I want you to ask yourself, what can I be? How far can I go? How can I change my path? So often we accept limits, listen to the words "no, you can't," and never realize our full potential. Accomplishing something on your own, knowing you have earned it, is one of the best feelings there is. Take chances, take risks, and facing the unknown is some of the scariest stuff you can feel, but it's worth it. I'm sure many of you have doubted yourself along the way. In earning your degree, I bet there were times that it would have been easy to give up, to not show up, and to give in. But you are here, and like me, you pressed on. You found your way, and you did it. There were certainly times in the beginning of my company where I wanted to give up, when I didn't have all the answers. Are you a 24/7 company? Customers would ask. Why, yes, we are. That would be me, of course. I would be the one making deliveries at 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you cover Connecticut? Confidently, I would say, indeed we do. Granted, I had no idea even how to get to Connecticut at that time, but where there was a payphone and a road map, there was an Expressman courier on the way. And that courier was me, Expressman's sole employee. And boy, she was dedicated. I realized that no and I can't was not going to work. It was not part of my vocabulary anymore, and it certainly isn't now. I have built my business truly the old-fashioned way. I worked really hard, took a bunch of chances, fell down, got back up, and never looked back. Today I have well over 100 employees and drivers. I own my own 33,000 square foot commercial warehouse building and Expressman services customers coast to coast. As I said, I never went to college. I never had a degree to navigate me through the business world. I envy those of you out there with a brand new diploma, new skills, and a new outlook on life. I wish I would have had the opportunity to learn more, to explore more, and to have the title of a college graduate. You do. Don't waste it. Be courageous. Work hard, and never say, I can't. Courage is self-taught. Excuse me. It's not given to you. It's a tool that will stay with you and get you through so many of life's challenges. We are all powerless without courage. I now have 2 children, 15 and 17, that are here with me today. They're about to head off into the world and begin their adult lives. Do I want them to take a different path than I did? Of course I do. I want them to seek out healthy relationships, continue to explore and believe in themselves and the world around them, and to keep learning. I want them to go to college and find a passion, build a life, and maybe a business of their own. But I also hope that they've learned a little bit something from their mom's journey of self-reliance, determination, and a thirst for hard work. My story could have easily had a much different ending, but it didn't. That was a choice. Today I'm speaking in front of you, and I'm simply in awe that I have this opportunity, that somehow my story might mean something to you, and something I say might stick with you beyond these walls. Take risks, never doubt your instincts, and push yourself out of your comfort zone. It is the only way to grow and truly live. If you're in a situation that's not working for you, change it. If you want to make more money, find a way to add more value. If you want to have a dream you want to realize, work for it. How I got here wasn't easy. It was far from perfect. But so what? Perfect does not exist. If you waste your time waiting for the stars to align to make your move, you will be waiting forever. Why not now? Why not you? I certainly never dreamed it would be me. We are all here not to duplicate someone else's story and a path to success, but to blaze our own trail and leave our own mark. I haven't achieved success alone. I have surrounded myself with mentors, friends, and employees who challenge me and support me. I have also learned how to shake off the naysayers and the people who fill your life with negativity. After 25 years, Expressman is successful and thriving. I have built my company on trust, loyalty, and dedication. My team is smart, talented, and they're like family to me. From the front office, to my drivers, to the warehouse workers, I pride myself in hiring people who may never have had a chance. No high school diploma? No problem. Disability? Let's see where you fit in. Willing to work hard? Welcome to the team. Each one of you has a place in this world. Each one of you can create your own destiny. Each one of you will also face challenges. Face them head on, and believe that you have the strength to turn adversity into opportunity. Dreams are possible. What is your dream? Owning your own company? Going on to continue your education even further? Going back to your job with a new sense of accomplishment and asking for that promotion? Or passing your education on to your family? It's all an amazing gift. My gift to you today is my story. The story of someone who was broken. The story of someone who was told she was nothing. And the story of that same someone who stands before you built stronger than ever from before. Facing fear and holding on to courage. Listening to gut instincts. And knowing that even in the darkest times, there is hope and light and a place for all of us to shine. And if someone ever tells you you can't, tries to belittle your dreams, or makes you feel less than, I want you to think back to this day and know that I believe in each and every one of you, and I wish you a lifetime of success. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Michelle, for telling us that very personal but very inspiring story. Graduates, I think there was a lot to learn from that brief addition. But now we're going to ask Michelle to stay right here, because one of the things that she has earned through her hard work is an honorary degree from the New England College of Business and Finance. However, our admissions office will be in touch with you about a regular degree as well. So I'd like to ask our chairman, Scott Harshbarger, and our provost, Deborah Leahy, to please join Michelle in the hooding of her doctoral degree. Michelle Cully, by virtue of the authority invested in me from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the faculty of New England College of Business and Finance, I here bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Commerce, honoris causa. Thanks very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Leahy, Provost of the college, and I have the honor today to introduce our graduating student speakers from the graduate program. So the following speakers share more than just a venue today and the graduate degree they're about to receive. These smart, talented women have both dedicated their careers to the financial services industry, progressing to the ranks to where they now both hold the title of Assistant Vice President. Both identified NECB as a place where they could invest in themselves to achieve their goal of a graduate degree, with the online environment enabling them to balance work, family, many late nights, I'm sure, and community relations that were very important to them. So naturally, they share many of the same overall experiences and overcame similar challenges as they completed their MBA coursework here at the college. And as chance would have it, they were partnered together on group projects and several courses, deepening their connection. In their final capstone course, where students are grouped together to put into practice all of the many things they have learned as graduate business students, these women were again paired together, this time by choice. Team Chester, as they were named, was tasked with turning around a failing company, competing against fellow classmates in a complex business simulation that spanned 6 years. It wasn't easy. There was a blip in the third year of that company that almost cost them the game. But marathon strategy sessions via webinar and phone, where they worked together to make decisions on how to run their struggling business, were an investment that paid off in more ways than one. Not only did they, quote, mop the floor, unquote, with their competitors, sorry Team Andrew, sorry Team Baldwin, but they cemented a relationship that stretches well beyond the classroom. They put into practice the 21st century skills that exemplify NECB graduate students: collaboration, determination, and problem solving. Kate Mancuso and Starry Poe are here today, together again, to share with you what they have discovered together, that the investment you make in yourself pays real, lasting dividends beyond the degree itself, connections that can overcome the virtual boundaries of competing demands of life. Please welcome Kate Mancuso and Starry Poe to this podium. Oh, you trusted me before the speech. You can put them down here. Thank you. There you go. Hey, we got this.
Congratulations, class of 2017, for investing in yourselves.
We certainly have a lot to be proud of today.
Our friends, family, coworkers, professors, and school staff invested in us and had a hand in making today possible.
All of us have supporters who have invested in us along the way. On behalf of all the graduates, thank you. I would like to specifically thank Professors Maripati, Walker, and Owen, and also student advisor Stephanie Martin. You all made the journey just a little bit easier. And last, but certainly not least, I would like to take this time to thank all of my loved ones. Your encouragement, your support, and your patience never wavered.
For me, thanks goes to my friends and family and coworkers, including my husband and 2-year-old son, who is here and has no idea what today means for Mom. I must also thank my academic advisor, Bill Lynch. Many nights I missed out on reading to my son, bath time, and family dinners. Bill arranged my schedule to ensure I didn't miss out on too many of those family moments. Thank you, Bill, wherever you are. Thank you. Investing in yourself occurs the moment you decide to pursue a degree. It occurs the moment of your first tuition payment. Investing in yourself occurs at 11:30 on a Wednesday night while contemplating your initial discussion posts.
Investing in yourself also occurs the moment you decide you are worth putting time and effort into the life you want but have yet to achieve. It wasn't until I attended commencement for my bachelor's, obtained here at New England College of Business, where the speaker's words motivated and encouraged me to continue to invest in myself. While pursuing my MBA, I worked full-time, volunteered at 3 nonprofit organizations, and remained a faithful member of Zion Baptist Church. And during my spare time, I even managed to throw in a little interior design. Yet the more I reflect on this challenging journey, I keep reminding myself, without challenge, there is no success. The investment was well worth it.
It took me 16 years to understand investing in myself was worth it. When I decided to go back to school, I had many excuses to not make the investment. I had been married for about a year, I worked 60-hour weeks, and knew my husband and I would start a family prior to degree completion. NECB gave me no excuses. They made the decision to invest in myself an easy one. As I went through my years of classes, I realized that no matter where in the world my classmates lived, we all had competing priorities. We are wives and husbands, mothers and fathers, daughters and sons, sisters, brothers, and friends. We all played many supporting roles.
And we also had many supporters who helped us get here today, and also influenced our decisions to invest in ourselves. Although we all have experienced obstacles with individual and group coursework, the end of the journey has made it well worth it. Kate, thank you for asking me to consider the co-speech. Although I was hesitant about speaking, wait, who really enjoys public speaking?
But Starry, because of this commencement address, we just made 1,000 new LinkedIn connections, which we could have used in our capstone course. Can we still get those credits?
We should.
Professor Rudnick, wherever you are, we're a little busy right now, but we'll email you later.
Kate, you saw something in me, although I'm not certain what it was. You have motivated me to be a strong voice, and I hope our message will encourage others.
The investment seemed hard at times, but we can all agree that it was definitely worth it. This journey has shown me the strength I have to accept new challenges, such as giving a graduation speech, and innately know that I can overcome those challenges. Each of our individual journeys has taught us to never regret any investment in ourselves. Regardless of trials and tribulations, persevere. You will not disappoint anyone, and you will succeed. Be something better and do something different. You will never regret investing in yourself.
For me, I have no regrets. Investing in myself has taught me the sky is the limit, and I can certainly create my own destiny. Throughout this journey, I have encountered obstacles and have learned that all aspects of life can and will be challenging. Yet if we trust in the path that the Most High has prepared for us, coupled with a little patience, the outcome will be most rewarding. To all graduates, job well done.
And always remember to invest in yourself, and congratulations, class of 2017.
Good afternoon. My name is Roger Powell, Assistant Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies at the New England College of Business. It is with tremendous pleasure that I introduce the undergraduate student speaker, Kevin Goering. Like most NECB students, Kevin added furthering his education while working full-time and raising 7 children to his overflowing plate. The breadth of his drive and determination was evident each week as he completed his assignments and worked diligently to satisfy all the course requirements. Currently a real estate broker with California Seller Realty and a professor of aviation at Sacramento City College, Kevin came to NECB to advance his career. Kevin found that his education at NECB opened the door for him to begin teaching. And as Kevin looks to the future, he will continue his education in aviation and aerospace education technology. While the NECB community will miss Kevin's wonderful participation in his classes, we know that he will always take a piece of us with him. Please join us in providing a warm welcome to Kevin as we welcome him to the stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kevin. Take a photo quick. Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, family, friends, esteemed faculty, Dr. Culley, and the class of 2017. Astronaut and American hero Buzz Aldrin once said, "There's a need for accepting responsibility for a person's life and making choices that are not just ones for immediate short-term comfort. You need to make an investment, and that investment is in health and education." I was not the best student in high school, which meant the advice that I received from those around me was that college isn't for everyone, and encouraged to forego higher education. I believe there are many others that might have received the same advice at one time. So filled with the thought that I wasn't smart enough or good enough for college, I entered the workforce right out of high school. The year was 1990. It had been 5 years since I had graduated high school, and somebody who I looked up to pulled me aside and said, "You know, Kevin, there's a community college down the street. They have an aviation maintenance program, and I think you'd be really good at that." Well, I was a little bit shocked because nobody had ever suggested that I should attend college or that I would be good at it. But filled with a little confidence from this talk, I actually drove immediately down to the college, enrolled that day, and then 2 years later, I graduated near the top of my class. So fast forward 20 years. I've had a successful career in aviation, as well as a real estate broker managing a company. But many opportunities had passed me by. Opportunities that I believe would have changed the trajectory of my life and the life of my family. I began to wonder about all of my children and what it would mean to them. Would they see college as something that wasn't for them? Would they follow in my footsteps? And what did that mean? The National Center for Education did a study in 2001 that stated those whose parents have no education beyond high school are considerably less likely to succeed than those parents who have completed a bachelor's degree. So I could grasp that a college education was important, but at this time in my life I had a significant problem. I was 45 years old, and one class at a time at NECB would take me 5 years to complete. So I presented this problem to my wife.
Her advice was quite memorable. She said, yes, that is true. And if you wait until next year, you'll be 51. So I suggest you better get started right now. Well, my oldest son is now 19 years old and about to start his junior year in college. We joke about who's going to be the first one with a master's degree. Now, seeing my children succeed in college is the only benefit I realize from my time here at NECB. Today is a complete and total success. But the story doesn't end here. Of course, I have many more children to get through college, but the opportunities that once slipped through my fingers have now been grasped, thanks to this investment. Because of the education I received here at NECB, my real estate career thrived by implementing good business practices, learning new marketing skills, and improved writing skills. Because of my commitment to a bachelor's degree, I was able to simultaneously complete a certificate program for teaching at community colleges. I've long dreamed of teaching in aviation maintenance, the college that I had attended, but 15 years ago, when they opened up a position, I was not even considered because I did not have a college degree. Well, just recently they opened up a position after 15 years, but this time, things were a little different. During the interview, I had more confidence. I was able to explain to them I was about to graduate college with my 4-year degree. I was able to show the interview staff that I was a lifelong learner, that education was important to me. Although the competition was fierce, I'm happy to report that I am now the newest full-time professor at the Sacramento City College Aviation Program. Thank you. Well, class of 2017, we made it. We made the decision to invest in our time in ourselves, our children, and the generations to come. We have changed the trajectory of our lives. However, the worst thing we could do today is to say we have finished learning. Today is a day of celebration, but tomorrow is a day for setting new goals. Commit today to become a lifelong learner. Never stop learning. Reach for the next rung on the academic ladder. Seek out the next degree. Learn a new skill. You've made it this far. You've proved your mettle. You can do it. Don't just hope for a better future. Decide to make a better future and invest in yourself. Thank you.
So each year we have a very difficult task. We ask all of our graduating students to please nominate a faculty member who meant a lot to them. You can imagine how many nominations we get. We ask the students to consider excellent teaching skills, personal growth and development as a faculty member, giving extraordinary time and effort devoted to academic area activities, and providing student development assistance outside the classroom. We received many nominations. We read each and every one of them, so thank you. It's a difficult choice. There are many compelling nominations. We are so pleased to have the 2017 Faculty Member of the Year with us today. Dr. John Min, professor in the MBA and Master of Science in Finance programs. Dr. Min brings a rich background in finance and global trading, including serving as a corporate consultant for companies such as JP Morgan Chase, Management Concepts, and Western Union. Dr. Min was also the co-founder and chief economist for World First USA, and he served as vice president of sales and marketing at Roche International. Dr. John Min joined NECB in 2008. Since then, he has taught a wide range of courses in the MBA and Master of Science in Finance program. Dr. Min is also active in curriculum development, including courses in managerial economics, global currency management, and trading psychology. Dr. Min earned an MBA from George Washington University and a PhD in economics from George Mason University. It is evident that Dr. Min has a passion for sharing his professional insights in finance and foreign exchange market with his students. Students have expressed appreciation for the current events that Dr. Min regularly introduces in his classes. Many also comment on how Dr. Min helps them see finance through new paradigms, with one student commenting, "He made me think and expand my intellect." And as we well know, finance can be competitive. When Dr. Min taught a finance course recently, one of his students said, "He made us go like wildcats." Please join me in welcoming Dr. Min to the podium.
Before I begin my note, I wanted to say thank you very much for a very inspiring speech, Ms. Coley. In fact, my wife just texted me a few minutes ago, how was your speech? I said, well, I don't know. And then she said, stay with your script. And I said, no, she inspired me so much that I'm going to go off script at the risk of bombing out completely, because for the past 8 years, I've been teaching for the college at a small place in Virginia, all online. And I've been interacting with a lot of wonderful names, Chris, Andy, Ned, Carla, and various students. And I never met them because, of course, you know, it's an online environment. Now, that being the case, yesterday I flew in from Washington, D.C. I had a chance to meet every single one of you. And believe it or not, they are much better. They are such a nicer, and they are wonderful people. And this is a wonderful institution. And I am so pleased that I got recognized for this award. Now, I have a confession to make. When I first started teaching for the college 8 years ago, I initially thought everyone here was a little bit crazy. I remember telling my wife that this idea of someone can work full-time and complete a 5-week, 500-level intensive courses in managerial economics, global currency management, and trading psychology. That was impossible. In fact, when I first reviewed my course assignment, and I looked at what was required from the student each week, starting from Wednesday, I said to myself, no way, no average student will stick it out. Well, you proved me wrong. All of you are standing here to celebrate your successful completion of the program. On that note, I want to recognize how special you are. You see, I also learned my MBA and my PhD while working full-time as an FX trader, later as a managing director for a financial firm. So I do know what's it like working 9 to 10 hours a day and going home each night to start your schoolwork. And in fact, my wife recalls many nights that I fell asleep with my laptop on a kitchen table. And of course, I miss many, many, many family get-togethers on the weekends. Now, that being said, I also learned that how much can be accomplished if one is dedicated, disciplined, and driven. I call this my 3 Ds. And when I started my second startup business, I actually intentionally went out and looked for those who had those 3 Ds and to help me grow the business. And these are the qualities that I see every day in my classes with the college. Every one of you exhibit those 3 Ds of dedication, discipline, and drive. And that is why I am so honored to be recognized as the Faculty of the Year by the very same students who inspired me every day in the classroom. Thank you and congratulations.
So we are so pleased to have Vinyl Street with us today, and we're going to welcome them back to the stage. I want to tell you a little bit about Vinyl Street. It's a Boston a cappella group that describes themselves as addicted to music. They are performed all throughout Massachusetts, including Lansdowne Street in Boston, Davis Square in Somerville, and they have admitted to crashing some karaoke nights. They didn't have to crash this graduation. We fully invited them, I promise you. Now, we recognize that the audience today is full of diverse learners from multiple areas, a wide array of backgrounds, as you've heard. But there is one thing that unites all of you today. Beyond the grit and perseverance referenced earlier is that you're all here to celebrate. Therefore, let's welcome Vinyl Street back to the stage to perform Celebration.
Bye.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Vinyl Street. An excellent song and an appropriate one. Today is certainly a good time to celebrate. Good afternoon, class of 2017. My name is Dennis Madigan, the Vice President of Finance and Enrollment at the college. As we come together today to recognize and celebrate your hard work, determination, and remarkable achievements, we'd like to take a moment and recognize the college's dedicated staff who've worked tirelessly to support you throughout your educational journey. Each year at commencement, we present an Outstanding Staff Member of the Year award to one staff member who's gone above and beyond expectations to contribute to the positive experience of our students as well as the collegial atmosphere in the NECB offices. And I can tell you, with such a talented and dedicated staff, presenting this award to just one individual is no easy task. This year's award recipient always goes above and beyond in supporting NECB students. His commitment to providing exceptional and personalized support services routinely recognized by our students. Here's a little tip. You heard his name earlier today in one of the speeches. One of whom recently wrote, and I quote, "He has been absolutely wonderful to work with and has really made my experience with NECB very positive. Whether I reach out to him for guidance or to discuss a life issue, he has been professional and helpful. More importantly, he has been very caring and empathetic. His efforts make me feel like I am his only student and my success his only priority." I love that last line. His colleagues also appreciate and recognize how he always goes the extra mile as an NECB team player. Despite assuming more leadership responsibilities for his department, he still makes time to take on additional projects, often outside the scope of his normal duties, and works collaboratively across departments in many ways that contribute to NECB's success. And no matter what he does, he brings a smile and a terrific sense of humor. Please join me in honoring NECB's Outstanding Staff Member of the Year, our Academic Advisor Team Lead, Bill Lynch.
Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Cronin, the librarian at the New England College of Business. It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure this afternoon to grant the awards for the E-Library Award for Research. The E-Library Award for Research was created by the New England College of Business Library to encourage more and better use of its resources and collections, to advance information literacy at NECB, and to promote excellence at the college. Over the last year, more than a dozen research papers were submitted by NECB faculty and reviewed by a selection team. The papers submitted were evaluated based on their originality, depth, breadth, and sophistication in the use of the library and internet resources. This was a difficult decision because some exceptional papers were submitted. The award that we'll be granting is a Kindle, and these papers will also be posted at the e-library as examples of the very best research that our students produce. The committee chose 2 students to receive the award this year. The first winner is Cindy Gleason for her paper, Cybercrime and Its Effects on the Banking Industry. I now invite Cindy to come to the stage to receive her award. The second winner is Elizabeth Farthing for her paper, An Analysis of Enterprise Risk Management in Practice, The Gap. I now invite Elizabeth to come to the stage to receive her award. Thank you very much.
Hello, class of 2017. I am Paula Beramonte, and I'm the VP or Vice President for NECB's Center for E-Learning Excellence. On behalf of NECB's Alumni Association, it is my pleasure to introduce Charlene Malcolm, our Alumni Association President. Charlene is an advocate for the college and for its alumni, having earned her bachelor's in business administration from NECB in 2013. She then went on to earn her master's in business ethics and compliance from NECB in 2014, and she's now pursuing her doctorate in business leadership. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Charlene Malcolm, the NECB 2017 Alumni Association President.
Wow, what an inspirational graduation. I've been here every year for the past 4 years, and I can say that this has been wonderful. Special shout out to my cousin who's graduating in here as well. Congratulations, graduates. You did it. You can breathe. After your hard work and dedication, you've earned your NECB degree. Great, great thing. On behalf of the NEB Alumni Association, we applaud you for reaching this important milestone. As you now prepare to embark on the next phase of your life, know that you are not in it alone. You are a distinguished member of the NECB Alumni Association. Cultivating an ongoing relationship is important, not only to me, but to the NECB family as well. I encourage you to participate in the NECB Alumni Association. As an active member, you will be doing your part to help make NECB and the alumni stronger and stronger. Do me a favor, while traveling home and reflecting on this day today, I want you to consider there is strength in staying connected, there is strength in being informed, and there is strength in remaining involved. Again, I congratulate you, and I welcome you, we welcome you to the NECB Alumni Association, and look forward as you help maintain a relationship with NECB. Thank you.
And now, the moment all of you have been waiting for. You get to come on stage too. President Horton, I am proud to present to you the class of 2017 candidates for graduation. Each of these students has successfully completed the academic requirements for the New England College of Business and Finance. Please recognize them by conferring the degrees that they have earned. At this time, I invite my colleague, Vice President Dennis Madigan, who will present each graduate to President Horton.
Thank you, Provost Leahy. At this time, I invite Program Chair Donna Veens to join me in presenting the Associate in Science in Business Administration degree recipients. Now, will the Associate in Science in Business Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward. Tatiana Adams. Samantha Bramulis. Krista Janelle Brink. Samantha Brentnall. Felipe Costa. Stephanie Curran. Nicole Zarsti. Allison Leslie Kelleher. Karen Allison McDonough. Stacy Mercado. Maria Miskinian. Reza Ortiz. Shannon Lee Robinson. Jennifer Marie Sanchez. Nancy Tibaldi. Pauline Marie Tranter. Catherine Balungi Waiswa. Denise Walker. Kimberly Ann Welshman. Brittany Alexis Wright. Tracy Ann Zeshin. Dianera Morena Small. Now will the Basic Accounting Certificate candidate please stand and come forward. Michaela Ann DuBois. Now will the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward. Kevin Scott Gehring. Adrian Renee Turner. Lindsay Allen. Alessandra Gomes Almeida. Carla Alexandra Elves. Rachel Ann Ben David. George Bitar. Shakora Elizabeth Bowman. Christine Ann Buteau. Bianca J. Cooley. Erica De Silva. Christopher Lewis DeBrusca. Matthew Dobeck. Jacqueline L. Dugas. Cynthia Gleason. Angela Maria Grandi. Ilse Green. LaFane Latoya Hay. Michelle Hernandez. Rebecca Margaret Hilsman. Noriko Izuka. Kimberly Ann Janoka. Rachel Louise Johnson. Catherine Lowry. Gregory Medeiros. Luisa Medeiros. Anna Yancy Mendez. Dania Mendez. Marcella Nakuchi. Zulema Morales. Ariel Noesi. Sarah McCormick O'Keefe. Heather Marie Otteson. Catherine Yezedna Phillips. Michelle Marie Phillips. Jeanette Seeley. Ava Janine Smith. Sarah Elizabeth Souza. Anthony Spakowski. Donna Ann Stapleton. Maria Tomasian. Frivian Frede Vicente. Linda Marie Volke. Now, will the Bachelor of Science in International Business degree candidates please stand and come forward? Jonathan Ward Standiford. Gabrielle Tuzzi. Paul Douglas Wakefield. I now invite Program Chair Dr. Janine Jakes to join me in presenting the Bachelor of Science in Digital Marketing degrees. Now will the Bachelor of Science in Digital Marketing degree candidates please stand and come forward. Linda Thaw. Sharon Jean Mangelinks. I now invite Program Chair Dr. Carla Padalano to join me in presenting the Master of Business Administration degrees. Now will the Master of Business Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward. Who's over there? Caitlin Mancuso. Starry Poe. Taylor Alexandra Sparkus. Noradia Patrice Aquara. Purva Rajnikant Boucher. Lindsay Michelle Boyden. Sade Makiba Bunbury. Candy Lynn Dion. Jean Astral Gillis. Marie Hughes. Jennifer Ann Huska. Rosemary Kawan. Candace Opal Kirchner. Alexander Joseph Leruth. Melanie Lopez. Michelle Martin. Alicia Melnichek. Brenna Morrissey. Dadon Tenzin Nodup. Yen Nak Wen. Suela Papakielis. Debbie Avery Rose. Maria Elizabeth Santiago. Kenisha Cadian Shacklewood. Valerie Soto. Robin Wood. Now will the Master of Human Resource Management degree candidates please stand and come forward. Candidate. Jennifer Stephanie Mendoza. At this time, I invite Program Chair Deborah Samantha to join me in presenting the Master of Business Ethics and Compliance degrees. Now will the Master of Business Ethics and Compliance degree candidates please stand and come forward. Casey Erin Bledsoe. Bethany Ann Boucher. Elizabeth Anna Farthing. Damia Radine Gillespie Jackson. Alvaro Lima. James David Meacham. Ashley Marie Rivas. Sharon Marie Suvers. Gigi Marie Wayham. Marie Helene Yatada. I now invite Program Chair Dr. Sam Rindell to join me in presenting the Master of Healthcare Management degrees. Now will the Master of Healthcare Management degree candidates please stand and come forward. Brianna Chanel Carter. Miss Mead Joseph. Antonetta Fontana Medeiros. Alicia Marie Ostrom. Paul Tabor Jr. I now invite Program Chair Dr. Ned Gondavani to join me in presenting the Master of Science in Finance degrees. Now, will the Master of Science in Finance degree candidates please stand and come forward? Tanyukia Foy Mathis. Fritz Albert Louis Jean. Ashley McDavid. And last but not least, Celeste Clarice Smith. Congratulations to all graduates.
Okay. At this time, I would like to ask all graduates to please stand. By the power in me vested by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and our accrediting bodies, I now confer upon you the degree to which you have earned and all its rights and privileges. We just have one more thing to do. Graduates, as a symbol of your New England College of Business and Finance graduation, we will now perform the traditional swinging of tassels on your caps from right to left. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Stage party, let's stand and give them a round of applause. You know, you can sit down now. I'm always amazed at how wonderful our students are. You really are. Distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of our official program. I want to thank you for joining us and making this a very memorable occasion in the lives of our graduates. I would like to ask you to please remain seated until the platform party and all the graduates have exited the auditorium. I would also like to invite you to join us in the Dorothy Quincy room downstairs, where we will have light refreshments. We will now begin the recessional. The order of the recessional is the stage party, followed by graduating students, and then friends, family, and supporters of the graduates. Again, thank you for being here today. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you again to our family and friends who will support you.
those things printed? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So it's all tabs and things inside it. I don't collect it.